If you're hearing this, then I'm gone already. And before you start crying like a giant baby, yes, I planned this.
Have you ever seen somebody lose themselves completely after losing the person they love the most? Have you ever watched a man who once brought happiness into every room suddenly become colder than silence itself? Then stay with me, because this story carries a deep life lesson you will never forget. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Before we continue this emotional story, please support this channel by subscribing, liking this video, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss any powerful stories from us. Now come with me, as I take you through this unforgettable journey. Daniel never liked birthdays. Not because he hated celebrations, cakes, or gifts. He hated birthdays because birthdays reminded him of the only person who ever made life feel complete. His mother, Evelyn. Every year, on the exact minute he was born, Evelyn would call him before anybody else could. Even when he became older and pretended not to care, she still did it. "Happy birthday, my stubborn son," she would say with laughter in her voice. "You're still my tiny baby." Daniel would always roll his eyes dramatically. "Mom, I'm 32. And I'm still your mother." That was their tradition. A tradition that ended the night Evelyn died. Or at least, Daniel thought it ended. The story begins 3 years after Evelyn's death. Daniel had changed completely. Once lively and funny, he became distant, cold, and emotionally unavailable. He ignored calls from friends, stopped attending family gatherings, and buried himself in work. His younger sister, Vanessa, kept trying to pull him back into reality, but Daniel only pushed her away. "People lose parents every day," Vanessa told him one evening. "Mom wouldn't want this." Daniel snapped. "Don't tell me what Mom would want." The room fell silent. Vanessa stared at him with tears in her eyes before quietly leaving. Daniel immediately regretted it, but pride stopped him from apologizing. His birthday arrived a few days later. He planned to spend it alone. No calls. No celebration. Nothing. He switched off the lights in his apartment, sat on the floor with a drink in his hand, and stared blankly into space. 11:59 p.m. His chest tightened. This was always the moment Evelyn called. Every year. Without fail. He laughed bitterly to himself. "Happy birthday, Daniel," he mocked quietly. From the dead. Then his phone vibrated. Daniel froze. Unknown number. His heartbeat slowed. Another vibration. A voice note. His fingers trembled violently as he pressed play. "Happy birthday, my stubborn son. If you're hearing this, then I'm gone already. And before you start crying like a giant baby, yes, I planned this." Daniel burst into tears immediately. Real tears. The kind that suffocate you. He replayed the voice note over 20 times that night. He barely slept. The next morning, he became obsessed. He checked the number repeatedly. It was inactive. No profile picture. No trace. No call history outside that single message. He convinced himself someone was playing a cruel joke. Maybe Vanessa. Maybe one of his friends. But deep down, he knew it was real. Because nobody else knew the little things Evelyn said. Nobody else called him my stubborn son. 1 year passed. Daniel spent the entire year waiting for his next birthday more than a child waits for Christmas. His life slowly improved. He started speaking to Vanessa again. He smiled more often. He even started dating a cheerful woman named Lena, who constantly mocked how emotionally awkward he was. "You hug people like you're being arrested," Lena joked once. Daniel laughed for the first time in months. Still, the mystery haunted him. Then his birthday arrived again. 11:59 p.m. His heart pounded so loudly he could barely breathe. 12 a.m. Phone vibration. Unknown number. Another voice note. Daniel immediately pressed play. "Oh, don't look so shocked this time." Daniel laughed and cried at the same time. "You're impossible, Mom," he whispered. Evelyn's voice sounded calmer this time. "So, tell me. Are you eating properly now? Or are you still surviving on nonsense?" Daniel laughed harder through tears. Lena, sitting beside him, looked terrified. "Daniel, whose voice is that?" He couldn't answer. The voice note continued for nearly 7 minutes. Evelyn spoke about life, healing, loneliness. Then suddenly, her tone changed. "There's something I need you to do." Daniel sat upright immediately. "Your father is hiding something from all of you." Silence. Daniel frowned. "My diary. Find it." The voice note ended. That was the beginning of everything. Daniel became consumed by the search. His father, Richard, was a proud and emotionally rigid man who rarely spoke about Evelyn after her death. Their relationship had become strained over the years because Richard believed Daniel blamed him for not saving Evelyn during her illness. When Daniel asked about the diary, Richard became strangely defensive. "What diary?" "Mom mentioned it." Richard's face lost color instantly. Daniel noticed. "You know something?" Richard exploded. "Enough. Stop behaving like a child chasing ghosts." Daniel was stunned. It was the first time his father had shouted in years. That reaction confirmed one thing. The diary existed. Daniel secretly searched through old boxes, cabinets, storage spaces, and forgotten rooms. Eventually, Vanessa joined him, though she initially thought Daniel was losing his mind. Until she heard the voice note herself. Vanessa collapsed crying the moment Evelyn's voice played. "Oh my God." Together, the siblings uncovered hidden parts of their mother's life they never knew existed. Evelyn had secretly recorded dozens of voice notes before her death. Not just birthday messages. Advice. Warnings. Confessions. Apologies. Stories. Jokes. There were recordings labeled, "For when Daniel falls in love." For when Vanessa loses hope. For when Richard finally tells the truth. The emotional impact shattered the entire family. But Richard refused to participate. Until Daniel found the diary. Inside it was a devastating revelation. Years earlier, Richard had another child before meeting Evelyn. A son named Marcus. Richard abandoned the boy and his mother out of fear and immaturity. Evelyn discovered the truth years into their marriage but secretly searched for Marcus herself. She found him. And kept helping him financially without Richard knowing. Daniel was furious. "You lied to us our whole lives." Richard broke down completely. "You think I'm proud of it?" It became one of the most emotionally explosive scenes in the story. Vanessa felt betrayed. Daniel stopped speaking to his father again. Meanwhile, Marcus entered the story. Marcus was bitter, sarcastic, hilarious, and deeply wounded. Unlike Daniel, he grew up struggling alone. He resented Richard completely. Their first meeting was chaos. "So this is the replacement family," Marcus mocked. Daniel immediately disliked him. Marcus laughed at everything, including pain. He used humor to hide trauma. At one point, during an argument, Marcus sarcastically said, "Relax. At least your dad abandoned me before social media existed. Imagine getting rejected in HD." Even Daniel accidentally laughed. Slowly, against all odds, the brothers formed a bond. But another birthday approached. This time, Daniel feared the voice notes would stop. At midnight, the phone vibrated again. Evelyn's voice returned. But this message was different. Softer. Slower. "If this message is playing, then maybe you're finally becoming the man I prayed for." Daniel cried quietly. Evelyn revealed the truth behind everything. She knew she was dying long before anyone else did. She recorded the messages because she feared her family would collapse without her. And she was right. She explained that Richard was not evil, just weak. She explained that Marcus deserved love, not pity. She explained that Vanessa carried invisible pain nobody noticed because she was always the strong one. Then came the final instruction. Forgive each other. That became the emotional climax of the story. Not revenge. Not mystery. Forgiveness. Daniel finally confronted years of anger he carried against his father. Richard admitted every mistake with painful honesty. Vanessa confessed she felt abandoned emotionally by everyone. Marcus admitted he spent his whole life pretending pain was comedy. The family slowly began healing. Not perfectly, but honestly. The final act of the story becomes deeply emotional and beautiful. Daniel eventually marries Lena. Vanessa starts therapy and rebuilds her confidence. Marcus finally feels accepted somewhere for the first time in his life. Richard becomes quieter, softer, and more present. Then comes Daniel's next birthday. Everyone gathers together. For the first time since Evelyn died, the house feels alive again. Laughter fills the room. Marcus steals food while pretending innocence. Vanessa threatens him dramatically. Richard actually smiles. Lena records videos of the chaos. Then midnight arrives. Silence fills the room. Daniel checks his phone nervously. Nothing. No vibration. No message. The family looks disappointed. Daniel forces a smile. "It's okay," he says quietly. "Maybe this was the last one." Then suddenly, phone vibration. Everyone screams. Daniel laughs instantly through tears. One final voice note. Evelyn laughs first before speaking. "Oh please. Did you really think I'd miss this birthday?" Everyone bursts into emotional laughter. Then Evelyn says her final words. "I love you all." And Daniel, "Stop crying so much. You got that from your father." Richard laughs while wiping tears. The voice note ends. This time, there are no mysteries left. No hidden secrets. Only love. The final scene closes with Daniel looking at his family, finally understanding what his mother was trying to do all along. She wasn't trying to keep herself alive. She was trying to keep them alive after her.